Hello and welcome to the editor's commentary for my archive montage project, The Evolution of Western Animation Cinema. I was tasked to create a 4 to 8 minute piece that presents an idea or narrative through archive material. Deciding to edit a video on animation, in fact, was quite an easy decision for me, as growing up I loved to watch animated films, and I still do. When considering what films to put in the video, I did some research on what films were historically significant, such as Snow White being the first animated film in colour, and also the first fully animated film by Disney. Just so I can keep a record of the films I've used, I added the titles into a document, totaling to 49 films. The next step was finding what quotes to use from the films I selected. I then added them into their own document. Finding the quotes was rather tedious though, as I had to search each film and scour through a site with all the film's quotes to find one I believe would fit the edit well. After this, I looked through YouTube to find the quotes along with extra clips to have the quotes play over. Finding the extra clips was easy enough, but there were a few occasions where I couldn't find the quote I wanted, so I'd either choose a different one or not even use a quote at all. I made sure to find quotes for the majority of the films I used, because I wanted to make sure I stuck to the brief and not make what would essentially be a music video, and that's against that brief, so can't have that. Okay, upon collecting all my video materials, I put them through Premiere Pro to create 2 exports. One would be all the clips that have the quotes I wanted to use, and the other was for the rest of the clips. I did this because I wanted to adjust the frame rate of each video so they would be consistent. This did take quite a bit of time, but it was all worth it in the end. As soon as I got the exported clips into Avid, I transcoded them both and put the remaining non-transcoded files into a new bin with that name, just so I can keep everything very organized and not messy. Alongside this, I made sure the background music I chose was transcoded as well, so that all of the videos and audio I intend on using is of consistent quality. In terms of the music itself, I would say that this first piece, which is Nocturne Opening 9 No. 2 by Frédéric Chopin, really fits the classical era of animation. In fact, all of the music choices I feel work very well, and each of them feels very distinctive of their time periods. I really think using Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was a great addition, considering the title Pure Imagination really helps emphasize how animation, many creatives come up with great story ideas and really want to present their ideas to the world. In terms of editing the clips of the music, I used the audio settings of changing the pitch of the dialogue and music so they were at a level to where I could hear them both clearly. This task was fairly easy to accomplish with no complications. Not all good things last though, as when editing I did notice some errors, to which I needed to download a new clip, get the framing adjusted in Premiere and transcode in Avid. It's happened quite a few times. Probably about 7 times. This was due to problems such as the logo of the YouTube channel I took the video from, in which it would be presented in the bottom right corner. So it would be oh, this is in the way, why the hell is this here, I need to download a new clip. And also, another issue would be sometimes extra clips I got just wouldn't match the context of the quote itself. It's why I sometimes have to go back and get a clip and just put it back in to Avid. Another issue was the one time Avid crashed, which happened after I tried readjusting the placement of the text at the start of the video. I got back onto Avid upon relaunching the app, to which I then adjusted the text with no issues. Luckily, Avid didn't crash that many times, because I wouldn't be happy if it did, because that would be a massive pain. I'd say probably another difficulty was putting a transition on the clip, in which I would use a film dissolve for the final video in the timeline. Because I didn't really use transitions that much, because I felt like the way that the videos cut between each other really fitted well. There are times where I really think the visuals themselves really sync up so well with the audio that I think even just cutting straight away actually fits well with the edit. I did this because I wanted the video to have a smooth ending without it just stopping. That's why I used the film dissolve at the end, because without the film dissolve, it would just be ends with across the Spider-Verse and then just stops. What? Then came exporting a video, in which it took me 4 attempts to export the video. This is mainly due to how on the first 2 attempts I tried exporting it as a MOV with the current export settings in place. So I didn't really adjust any of the export settings aside from changing it to a MOV. This in turn only exports the audio. So I looked on YouTube with what the correct settings to use are, and then I found and implemented these settings, to which the third attempt worked, but had one issue. It exported all of the audio tracks, including the ones I put on mute. So I was like, oh no. Well, so what happened then is that I went back onto Avid, and I started trying to adjust some of the audio, and then it was like, oh no, some of these are attached to the mute files, so I couldn't move it around. So luckily I found through YouTube that the issue was I didn't deselect the audio tracks with the sound I wanted to use. So I then went back into Avid, deselected the tracks, and I exported the edit and watched it, and I felt very happy with it. Overall, I feel as though editing this project has definitely helped my confidence with Avid through teaching myself how to adjust audio levels, finding out how to use transitions, and knowing how to add text to videos. I look forward to editing the next project in Avid.
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.